We open today on a familiar house. It's a house that our protagonists recently visited. It is a house that the HOA would gladly burn to the ground if they could get away with it, but none of them quite has the stones to take that step. Instead, they have told their children stories, stories about the terrible things that happened there, stories meant to scare children and teenagers away from going to the house. And like millions of parents before them, they completely fucked it up because never really works. And the kids who are, properly scared by these stories are the kids who weren't going to go anyway. And so, at night, while our protagonists were dreaming, two figures, furtive, in battered jean jackets and beat up sneakers, both of them smoking because it was the 80s and everybody smoked, sometimes even the children. Um, both of them putting on that particular sense of masculine teenage bravado that one does when one is scared shitless, but not willing to show anybody that you're scared shitless. Both of them hover outside the backyard fence. Both of them look at the latch. Both of them silently willing the other to be the one to open the latch. After a few moments, one of them, let's call him Casey. Casey says, "Okay, Tyler, you're the one who said we needed to do this. You're the one who's got to open the gate. You're going in first. I'm just along for the ride." Tyler, the thinner, rather more sallow faced, and unfortunately undergoing the rigors of puberty in a very topographical way, uh, looks angry for a moment and looks like he's trying very hard to figure out a counter argument. That counter argument becoming shit. Okay. Because honestly, what else can you say in that situation without giving away that your bravado is just that? And so the latch is thrown and the door opens, surprisingly without an ominous squeal of hinges or any of the tropes you would associate with a haunted house. They slip into the backyard, and just as they're closing a door, a third figure runs up. It is another teenage boy. This one, heavier set, greasier, uh, definitely a heaving and out of breath, having run quite a distance to catch up with the other two after swearing black and blue that he was not going to be going with them. And of course, despite the warnings, everybody jumps. It's expected, all of a sudden there's somebody grabbing the gate. It could be a ghost, it could be a pissed off adult, but nope, nope, it's Eddie. Poor Eddie. He huffs and he puffs, and between the huffs and puffs, he says, "I couldn't let you guys go alone. So let's do this." And displaying more courage than either of the other two, Eddie wends his way between the bedding hanging on the lines, bedding that hasn't been taken in um, since Zayd disappeared, or before Zayd disappeared, even. But bedding that still seems mysteriously unmarked by insects, by blown grass, by the elements. It is disturbingly pristine. All of them could, of course, swear that they see figures on the other side of sheets as they push through. But just as much, none of them are willing to say anything and be the first one to be called a derogatory term for female genitalia by their friends. Once again, as teenage boys do and have done for generations. They make it through. They make it to the back door. And once again, there's that silent quorum of who's going to open the door. And this time it's Eddie. Before any words can be said, they stare at each other for a moment, and Eddie, feeling the need possibly to prove himself to his compatriots after having originally, chickened out, or so it seemed, is the one to open the door. He slips in, the other two wait a heartbeat, just in case there are sudden screams, and when there are not, the other two slip in behind him. Tyler uses one of the chairs at the little table, which is again covered in dolls. Completely pristine dolls. It uses one of the chairs to prop the back door open. We're not just going to leave this to chance, or so it seems. The kitchen itself, being the least spooky of the rooms, is met with whispered conversation, ruffling of cabinets as they look for anything valuable or something that could be clearly shown that they took it from Zaid's house and can then, at school later be the heroes, the folks who conquered Theodore Zaid's house. Of course, the kitchen doesn't have anything. The fridge is entirely empty when they open it. No rotting food, not even the carton of milk with Theodore Zaid's face on it. Just an empty fridge. They move outwards. They see the living room and the breakfast nook, and they see the dolls. All of the completely whole and unshattered dolls. They see the dolls looking at them. There might be, if you had the best of hearing, the strange sound of three different bladders trying not to empty themselves into battered jeans. Eddie, somehow being the leader at this moment, is of course the one who says, it's Zaid's house. Of course it's going to be creepy. We all know Mrs. Zaid had that thing for dolls. She'd buy them at flea markets and she'd buy them at thrift stores and antique stores. This is her collection, not his. The other two are like, how do you know that? We didn't know that. He's like, you just, folks talk when they're not telling us the creepy stories. The Zaid family is still a source of gossip. People still talk about it. My parents, they have some friends over, they have some old fashions, they start talking, and when they're not yelling about them damn commies, well, they talk about Zaid. There's really nothing in the living room, once again, or the breakfast nook that could be marked as something that stands out as this belongs to Zaid. So they head down the hallway because they're sure as shit not heading into the living room. They're not that brave. The first stop, of course, being the shared bedroom. Nothing in there overt, as our protagonist found out, besides more dolls and the oddly divided room. The one half still looking as messy and well slept in and poorly cared for. The other side, pristine with the miniature doll of his wife, resting peacefully on the other side. Eddie and Tyler aren't sticking around for this one. They're both like, there's probably nothing in here. Let's go for the study. Their friend, though, oh, he's certain there's something here. And so they start down the hallway without him. We pan in a little bit as he approaches the doll on the bed. And being a teenage boy and kind of a creep, looks around to make sure nobody's looking, and starts to check and see if the doll is anatomically correct. You can tell what this little shit is up to. You don't get to see what happens next besides the doll's eyes snapping open, and there's a crack of porcelain as a smile furrows directly through the face. There's no scream. The door doesn't slam shut. We're just going to move on to see how Eddie and Tyler are doing. Eddie, at this point, is, while being the bravest, also has always had something of a nervous bladder. And this is evinced by his willingness to attempt to use Zaid's horrible bathroom. Like, literally, there are gas stops with staff shortages that have better and cleaner bathrooms than what's going on in here. He steps in, he closes the door. There's a familiar sound and a flush, but the door doesn't open again. Tyler's distracted. He doesn't notice because he's sure he hears a clacking of keys coming from the room not quite exactly across the way. Click, clack, click, clack, 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 clack. He's excited now. His hands are shaking. He's nervous. You can see the beads of sweat on his forehead. He knew it. He knew Zane hadn't actually vanished. He's going to catch him, and he's going to win a prize. Now, to be clear, there was never any prize advertised. Nobody said anything about find Zaid, get a prize.
Yeah.
But the teenage imagination is able to jump to conclusions very quickly. And despite that, Tyler not being the brightest of bulbs, instead of just peeking around the edge or announcing himself beforehand, leaps into the room. Aha! You hear a softly whimpered, "Oh God, no." And the door slams shut. Shortly after, the keys begin to clack again. And that's where we're going to draw the curtain on this little interlude. Howdy, folks. Welcome to The Printer's Devil, our little Lovecraftian-inspired mini-series. I am joined today by some wonderful folks who are going to introduce themselves in a hot potato fashion, just being clear this time. And we're going to go ahead and start with our Discord daddy and channel father, Kevin.
Hello. My name is Kevin, and as of a week and a bit from now, this channel is going to be on 6.5 nights a week, and maybe even more after that. But shoosh, or at least a different 6.5 days, as if that was possible. Anyway, we're on all the time. That's the point. And it's all different GMs, all different systems, all different all the time. You want to see an amazing community, join us over on the Discord. I can't type it in at the moment because I got something else waiting to go. But yeah, we're one of the very truly nice places on the internet. Pop in and join us, and you too can play. That's the whole point. Anybody that wants to play gets to play. And I will pass the spicy tuber over to Janet.
Hey, hi, hello. I'm Janet, and I'm streaming as Anime Gems. I'm making also reviews and others and interviews. And in this game, I'm playing as Dr. Sophie Jackson. And soon I hope I play more games. But right now, I hope I survive this game. And now, Sarah.
Hey y'all, my name is Sarah. I go by Sans on the Discord. I am on this channel 5.5 nights a week. I'm here tonight as Juliet Morningstar. Probably gonna die first. Tuesday, in our Cyberpunk Red game, Carnage Heights, as Hecate. I date people or I want to date people who shoot me. Wednesday, in our Mask Oracle Force game as Nightwish, I'm somehow the leader. Thursday, our City of Mist campaign, DB Paradox, I am the DM for the chaos over there. And Sunday, our Seventh Sea Shadow of a Vakhtome game, I play Rosa Nyx. I watched. I did some terrible stuff last time. Giving it back to the editor.
Howdy, folks. It's me, Bat Kyle. You found me. It's my bit now. You can find me here for possibly one, maybe two more episodes, depending on how everybody does. We'll really have to see. You can also find me on Sundays playing Len. We really should have just had that night in Costin. The shape-shifting pseudo hand of the Iron Prince at this point. It's hard to say what his role really is. Besides that, you can find me either in the chats of other games, being a menace and trying to break everybody, because that's what I do, or you can find me on the Discord posting unhinged food memes and also generally being a menace. Or you can find me usually modding for 2 or 3 people at the same time and bullying them all because, well, I've got a brand. And with that, we will move into the story. When we last left everybody, 2 out of 3 had some interesting and possibly emotionally scarring dreams, and woke up likely with more questions than answers, which has just kind of been the way. I mean, Dr. Sophie did great. Had a great night's sleep. Woke up just fine. Everybody made it back to the insurance office. Their boss, Jake, or at least their pro tem boss, Jake, provided them with a car, money, credit card for expenses, and sent them on their way with the map that they had pieced together from the covers of the first edition books Theodore Zaid kept in his study, which we all know kind of killed Juliet's soul a little bit to do, because a fan never likes to do something like that. The question is, who's driving first?
We can't see
I
Tom.
can't do that because
So-
we can't tell if Janet has done it or not. So no, my plan
I
was for Mike to
can-
crawl into the back seat and go to sleep. It's early.
Okay.
I can.
Juliet can drive.
Well,
I
Dr.
can.
Sophie seems the most rested.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay.
I was thinking that we have driver and we don't drive. But if
Not
not,
for this part. No. That's just
So-
around the city.
so I can drive. I have map, so I can.
Yep. And since this is still the 80s, there is not even MapQuest or anything. You have one of those folding road maps. And the drive for the first while is pretty banal. I mean, it's the start of many a road trip. I mean, most of them are leading to a creepy little town that may or may not exist, obviously. But while one might at this point expect, to see things peeking at them out of the fields or things like that, it is boring.
I put radio on.
All right, you put the radio on. Any specific kind of channel? Easy listening?
Something like popular, like Michael Jackson, Madonna, something like pop songs.
Okay.
Yep. Oh.
It takes a little fiddling, but you find a station, and yep, there's Cyndi Lauper and Michael Jackson and all of that 80s goodness. Duran Duran,
Yeah,
Flock of Seagulls. No, Flock of Seagulls was 90s, weren't they?
Mm,
Were they early 90s?
They
No,
started in
were
the 80s, but
80s.
nobody heard of them until the 90s, except for
Ah,
a few
that's
of
fair.
us. But yeah.
Yep. You get the tunes, and you drive. Traffic's not bad. You don't encounter any accidents on the way. You get out of the city with fair alacrity. It doesn't take you super long, at least not any longer than normal, to get through the crush and start getting to the interstates and the bigger, longer drives where there's not a lot to see. You do see some cows at one point. That's really kind of the highlight of the drive. There are no
So I'm boring with radio and I ask, maybe we sing something so boring this road. And I look at Mike and Juliet with smile.
Mike is passed out in the back, if I recall correctly. He's in the back seat, sacked out. He did not
Yeah.
sleep well.
So if you wake him up, I have a plan. So yeah.
Okay. Are you going to wake him up, Dr. Sophie?
Yes, because radio was allowed.
Fair. Yeah, you just turn it up. Yeah. Okay. In that case, I'll take slight creative license and presume that Thriller by Michael Jackson has just started on the radio, and
Of
Mike
course.
will absolutely backseat dance. the whole dun, singing along at the top of his horrible voice. Yeah. Thriller,
so-
eh?
All right, so you get a little entertainment for a little while.
Does Juliet join in? That's what I want to know. You're riding
see.
shotgun.
She's probably been very quietly singing to like Cyndi Lauper, Blondie,
Mhm.
so more the female
Joan Jett.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joan Jett.
Yep.
But immediately upon hearing Thriller,
Yeah.
she almost clams up.
Mike, completely unaware that it's traumatic to somebody in the front seat, is just doing the full,
Yep.
the full prance.
Going full out on it.
Chair dance. It's not real dancing.
But it works.
Yeah.
Is anybody having? This is not a requirement. This is kind of a chance for everybody the characters to chat together if they have something they want to discuss. If nobody does, that's fine, and we can sort of move on from there.
So I was asked, why you are so tired? Wake up. And I will look up my shoulder while asking and seeing them so sleepy.
You want to go first, Juliet, or do you want Mike to go first?
She's gonna let Mike go first because
Yeah.
hers was traumatic.
Yeah. So he's right at the end of Thriller. He's still got his hands up like this, and he kind of looks up catches your eyes in the mirror. There's his, nervous dreams, eh? Oogie monsters. Ooh. In the mirror. And there's a grin, but he looks tired.
I only have therapy with myself. A classic dream. And I will look at Juliet.
I didn't sleep well. I just had some really intense nightmares.
So, Juliet, you're like an expert in this guy, right?
I wouldn't say that I'm an expert on Mr. Zane, but I am part of the fan club.
So do you know anything about this place we're going to? Or Dr. Sophie, I know like you're from around here, eh?
I never read his books. So I'm fresh here and I'm trying to understand his mind. And I will clash my hands on wheel on this, like in car, like stronger hold this wheel.
Yeah.
What Juliet would know about Hobbs Field is that in the books, it is a failing fishery town, like many that dot the New England coast or dotted the New England coast. For a time, it was a fairly prosperous place. It was not the biggest port, but it was convenient for some items to be moved through, and the fishing was pretty decent. There was, of course, some smuggling, yes, done, but fortunes shifted as they often do for small towns, and the fishing started to dry up, mostly to be blamed at the increasing industrial fishing of bigger towns somewhat nearby, probably a fair amount of poaching in their waters, um, industrialization of shipping as well, going to bigger established ports, and otherwise, having an okay beach area and such, but nothing about the town really stood out that they could use to bring in tourism, um, anything like that. Uh, People left the town for greener pastures, and mostly it was full of holdouts who refused to give up their land, even if it was kind of worthless. Um, you know, People who just felt more comfortable in the small town, people who weren't going to leave other people who refused to leave. The population barely enough to sustain itself over time, but it eventually kind of reached a point where it was a bit of a do or die. Either they found new ways to bring in new blood and new commerce, or the place was going to fail. And that was kind of the central tenet around a lot of what happened in the books to the town, and that somebody got desperate and did something they shouldn't do, made a deal they shouldn't make, and the repercussions of those. It became a place where the walls between what is and what could be and what should not have ever been have been thinned noticeably because of the despair, because of the uh, lack of caution, and people who can't read as well as they could trying to do ancient magics and forbidden rites and the desperate things that were done in the town to try and stop whatever evil was about to be unleashed or to banish whatever had been summoned. um,
And
it's almost oh good, yeah.
she tells
I
them everything.
I want in middle of way go to gas station and tank car and buy water because we don't have food for drive.
Yep.
And this long way.
Yep, when you finally spot one, it's been a while since you've seen one. There have been some that you might have been able to reach if you turned off the highway and went down one of those little roads that seems like it probably leads to some sort of small town that's clinging to agriculture, mostly living on whatever money comes from people who are willing to make that turn off. We finally do find one though, an old Phillips 66, set a little ways back from the road. There's a trailer behind it. It's pretty well settled and pretty well worn. Looks like it might have been a darker blue than it is now, and still is in some patches. But the elements have stripped most of it down to a sort of rust and pale blue outside, and it's
I would
obviously
go.
okay.
And I would also ask Sarah about the place we are going, if
Okay,
he know anything.
is anybody getting out with Dr. Sophie?
Uh, Mike's gonna get out and go and ask for the key for the bathroom because they've always got the
Okay.
outdoor bathrooms with the key. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
The outdoor bathrooms with the key. All right, so
which gives me an excuse to go around the back of the building and see anything that might be back there while I'm also bio breaking.
indeed. So you both step in. Uh, Dr. Sophie, you first step up, and the man behind the counter is very old. His skin is leathery and creased. the skin of somebody who has worked outside hard jobs all of his life. He's got the big rough hands and the kind of swollen knuckles that speak of a lifetime of doing hard labor, working with his hands and earning whatever he got. He's looking at a newspaper when you step in and doesn't immediately look up from it. Although that could be because maybe he doesn't hear you as well, or he's just really engrossed. He's got
I
those
wait.
big horn-rimmed Coke bottle glasses that he's they look like they might kind of be bifocals because he's doing one of those tilt his head back and kind of look down his nose reads inside. The front of the paper has a picture of Theodore Zaid on it, and the headline is Theodore Zaid missing with 3 question marks.
I will cow to look at me like I will like cow.
Yeah. What can we do for you?
I need tank a car and buy some water for way and maybe some snacks like sandwich or something.
Ain't got no sandwiches. Fresh food ain't something we normally get here a lot. But he points over. He's like, we got lots of beef jerky. We got nuts. We got chips and things. And then we got in the standing coolers. We got waters. We got sodas. We got road beers. That's our
want-
most popular thing. But
I want also ask one thing. Do you know about this place? And I will show on map.
I'll just grab the key and go. I just
yep, he just kind of
gone. Yeah.
it's over on
Yeah.
the desk there, and he just kind of nudges it to you. You can see you kind of doing the dance. He peers at the map for a moment, and he's like, I ain't exactly someone you would call well traveled, ma'am, but I don't recognize there being anything there. I haven't heard the name before either. That's it's kind of an odd name even for this area. I'm sorry, I can't be much help. We got maps if you want to buy one of the maps, and there are more of the folded road maps of the area for sale.
No need. Thank you. And can I look at your newspaper? I want to buy just a look and front page, nothing more.
He squints for a moment, and he's like, "All right, but I'm keeping the funnies. I love me some
All
Dennis
right.
the Menace," and he hands it over.
And I will read. And
Right.
and I will try to make photo with my Polaroid because I can't have this newspaper, but it's interesting that media is already know something.
Okay, so you line it up. You take the picture. The article itself is just supposition mostly. Somebody got word that people have been looking for Theodore's aid. Got there's questions about whether or not his the final book in the series, his penultimate work, is actually going to be to the presses on time. There's an unprecedented number of pre-orders for the book. People have already given their money, planning to wait in line for when it comes out. It talks about the movie deals
I-
that are in the works.
I wonder if this gas station have xerocopy, like I can do copy of this newspaper.
There's no copier here now. They don't have copies,
Or
and
do
he's
you
like,
mean,
sorry, that's
Did you mean do they sell that paper here?
No, I feel like
Oh,
this newspaper is older than today, so
okay. What's the date on the newspaper?
the date is from 4 days ago.
Okay. Yeah. Good catch.
so I only can do picture. And I will buy jerky and water and tan car and get back to car.
Okay. So you load it up, and he takes, rings it up, puts it in some little plastic bags for you, takes the money for it, and as you turn to leave, he says in a voice that doesn't sound anything like how he'd been speaking to you previously. He sees you. He sees you.
We look at him.
And he just kind of blinks and it's like, thanks for stopping by.
And we shrug and get back to class.
Okay. Surprisingly, Juliet, nothing creepy happens while you're just safely waiting in the car.
She's got traumatized.
I was.
It's not real,
it's-
but I ain't risking it.
I would throw jerky and bottled water at Juliet and say, grab.
Yeah, she would squeak almost immediately, and fumbles and misses catching the jerky at least, if not the water as well.
Sorry. Just kind of in my own head.
Are you sure you're okay for this travel?
I'm fine. I just bad night. Very, very bad night.
And then Sophie will shrug and say, my right, if you say so. Because she knows that she can't do anything about Juliet's state. And she will sit back in front of Will, waiting for Mike.
Cutting over to Mike.
Yep.
While that's going on, you have the key, and the key actually leads to, it's not just like an outhouse with a padlock. It's actually just a disconnected little, men this way, women this way, locked door, of course, back area.
Can I see the trailer from here?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can see the trailer, and it's got, it looks like at one point somebody really tried to spruce it up and make it more of a home. It's got like the little short plasticky white picket fence, to other side of the walkway. There are some of the ubiquitous plastic flamingos out there. Some dying topiary, like they planted some little bushes, and the bushes
Yeah.
didn't
didn't-
take.
Yeah. They didn't have the will to
Um,
live in this hideous place. I understand.
Exactly.
I head over towards the trailer and say in a much louder voice than I'm going to use now, excuse me, anybody home, eh? Not walking up because I don't want to get shot, but
For a moment, nothing happens, although you do see like a curtain twitch, a window near the door, and then the door cracks, and a rather shaky shotgun
yep.
is extruded, followed by the hair of a little blue-haired, like she really got the blue hair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely, rawhide and ripcord,
Yeah.
elderly woman.
Oh, shit, eh? Don't shoot, eh? I was just wondering if I could buy your axe. $20?
My
An
axe?
axe would be like $6 then. Like
Yeah, it would be barely
I'm
anything.
offering way too much because we're out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
For $20? You ain't gonna do nothing suspicious with it, is you?
Not anywhere near here, eh?
Good enough. She holds out a hand.
And slowly. Can you point that at the ducks for a second?
I thought I was.
Okay, well then I'll just move, eh? And I step out of the blast radius, and very, very gently take my wallet out and hand her 2 tens, and
she
put
takes
it back
it and-
away.
She's like, the axe is just around back there and stuck in a stump.
Okay, thanks, eh? Oh, I'm glad I yeah, okay. And I go around the corner and get the axe and just with it in my hand like it's the most normal thing in the world. I walk back around the building and head for the car. Look at the guy inside. I paid for it, eh? Talk to your wife.
He's like, yeah, that's great. My keys?
Oh shit, eh? And I put the axe in the car and then have to go back and actually use the bathroom because I didn't the first time. And then come back out, drop off the key, and back to the car.
All right,
And
yeah.
And then we asked, why you buy this thing and where you are going that long?
We're going to a ghost town, eh? We might have to break down a door or some shit. I'm not using my good stuff on that, eh? So, axe time.
All right, but why we don't find axe in town? Maybe someone abandoned or crowbar abandoned.
And I nod and I hold the axe sideways in my hand and start going, Thriller, Thriller night.
I will
Dun,
do,
dun, dun,
I will do face palm and start the car.
All right.
Juliet, I want to. I'm seeing Sarah sitting over there going, no, no, no. I want to tell us Juliet.
Just you going for it again. She's like, oh, not again.
This next song is a golden oldie. I'm sure you all know it, and it's a staple of Halloween's. It's the Monster Mash. And it doesn't stay all, monster and horror themed or anything. It's just a little two for there.
And before starting car, I will throw water and jerky at Mike and say, grab.
Oh, geez, breakfast of champions, eh? Nice. Put the axe blade down in the beside me and actually start ripping open the jerky.
The X is in surprisingly decent shape. It's definitely not like factory new or anything, but it seems to have been fairly well maintained. It's got the name Otis etched into the handle for some reason.
Okay. Its name then.
And off you go. And the drive is, once more, boring as hell. Lots of fields. Occasionally you'll run across a bit of forest that's been tamed back. Fences to other side of the road. The occasional other motorist, either pulling around you and going 120 the same way you're going or zipping past you the other way. Nobody tailgates you. Nothing jumps out at you. The scenery doesn't melt. Reality doesn't warp. You just drive, and you drive some more until it starts to get dark. The sun is obviously setting. Um,
I will
Dr.
look
Sophie,
for,
you've been driving for 8 hours at least.
I will look for motel.
Right? You do find one eventually. One that you don't have to pull off and go hunting once again through a small town to try and find a decent place. You find just a you know one of those single story long motels, like the true classic motor lodge style, called the Do Tell Motel. The vacancy sign is there. It's not creepy. It's it's run down as you would kind of expect. Um, it doesn't look like it's failed necessarily any health inspections, but it's definitely not about to grace the cover of any travel brochures, anything like that. Uh, there are a couple cars parked in front of different rooms. None of them stand out. Station wagon, panel van, uh, gray sedan. Nothing ubiquitous. When you
I will
park,
go,
oh, good.
I will go to book rooms. And before going, after going outside car, I want to stretch because everything hard after 8 hours.
Oh, definitely. And honestly, it's probably been closer to 10. I'm sure you push things to try and get as much time behind you as possible.
Yes,
All right, so you give your stretch and you wander in, and the guy behind the counter is nondescript, really. He's, got kind of dishwater brown hair, little bit of scruff on his cheeks. He's a little heavy set. Glasses perched on the tip of his nose. T-shirt's a little stained. He's not wearing a name tag. He doesn't look terribly professional, but you wouldn't really have to be for motel like this. And he looks pretty disinterested, like he's annoyed that he might have to take his eyes off. He's got one of those little TVs, the little sort of rectangular ones with the bunny ears. Sitting there, sounds like he's watching an Andy Griffith rerun. And he just kind of, how many?
Three. Three
Three
rooms.
Okay. Do they need to be next to each other or just any three? Because we can't do next to
Whatever.
each other.
Whatever.
Okay.
Everything available. What is? I take.
It's like, okay, yep. He reaches under the desk. He looks at, it's probably a little pegboard down there that you can't see, but he snacks their keys up. He's like, it's, $50 a night per room.
I did pay, and also I will ask, do you know this place? And I will show map and finger on map.
He looks at it for a moment and he's like, that's really clever. Huh. What's the name of this place? Because it doesn't say on the map you put together. It's just a red dot. Unless one of you
I
actually stenciled Hobbs Field on it.
only will ask if you know this area or not on map.
It's like that's still further to the coastal area than I normally go, but I don't remember there really being anything there, but I normally only ever go to the beach and I don't go that often, which is pretty clear by the kind of pasty pale skin tone that he has.
Alright. Also, we will have breakfast tomorrow or not. Just want to be sure.
He kind of laughs and looks around for a moment. He's like, "Yeah, let me get my chef and sous chef and everything right on that." No, there's a diner down the way, Sophie's Diner. It's actually really great. Sophie's like an institution. There, you can't miss it. It's all silver. Kind of looks like one of those. Was it airliner?
Alright. Thank
Airstreams.
you.
Yep.
And I will return to Mike and Juliet and throw two keys. And then I go to my room
Okay.
with my bag because I want to have my gun close to me.
I just put my axe in my backpack so that the handle's sticking out, put it on my shoulder, look over at Juliet, kind of grin for a second and say, well, here's hoping we get some actual sleep tonight, eh?
Yeah, yeah. Here's hoping.
And
And
Yeah.
so we each have a room then,
Yeah.
You each have a room.
Yes.
Yep.
and we're not near each other either, right?
The three guests who are there before you. It's pretty much like there's one empty room, one empty room, one empty room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're not like put in a little tiny cabin in the woods off by yourself or anything.
Yeah.
No worries there.
Mhm.
This isn't
Okay,
that
anyway.
movie. Yeah.
It's a whole different premise there.
Yeah.
I just jump on my bed because I don't have strength at first to go shower.
Yeah.
But after few minutes, I go shower and brush teeth and then go sleep. And I don't care what others do, just go to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. You crash out and go to
And
sleep.
I put gun on my table close to bed.
All right. Well, so you crash out. Juliet, Mike, you guys doing anything special or just also sacking out and trying to get sleep?
I just go through my gear again, make sure I've got everything that I said I had last time, and fill up the water bottle. And
Juliet's- Oh, go ahead.
that's it. Yeah, just getting ready.
Yeah, she's gonna make sure that she has everything and then try and go to sleep.
Okay. The night passes mostly uneventfully. You are awoken, but not by anything esoteric or eldritch. You're awoken by the sudden blaring of a TV in one of the rooms, followed by children screaming at each other, and then an adult screaming at said children until finally the noise dies back down and you can get back to sleep.
I put my pillow on my ears and sleep. Continue.
All right. Well, it is a thankfully either, happy dream or dreamless night, depending on your character's proclivities. Some people don't really dream. Some people dream but don't really remember them.
I
Some people
have
remember them vividly.
crazy dreams, so I feel like it's okay.
You're used to some.
You wake up each with a doll, a porcelain doll, next to you on the bed. It's your doll. The
When I
miniature
put my
mic.
foot through. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I will grab this doll, very careful, and go to reception and ask who have keys to my room and place this, and I will show and leave on corner of reception.
It's the same guy from when you checked in. He's looking very tired, like he's probably the night shift guy, and he's just waiting for the morning person to come in and relieve him. He's bleary eyed and a little saggy skinned from exhaustion. He blinks and looks at the doll. He's like, I have the keys. Whoever's manning the front desk is the one that has the keys. We don't really. We have a maintenance guy. We call when we need something, but we didn't need anything. And honestly, I don't know anybody who would leave dolls of like. He seems kind of baffled. He's like, why would I have dolls of 3 people I never met?
I would say,
And
I would select, then I please refund of this room because I don't like that someone is walking to my room when I sleep and leave this thing.
and he frowns at that. And he's just like, no, for all I know, you have your dolls of yourselves. It makes most sense that you guys would have the dolls, and now you're trying to get free rooms by giving me the story about the Phantom Doll Giver.
Got a point.
I
He's
don't-
wrong, but he's got a point.
I don't care. I want to talk with manager of this motel.
He's like, oh, you want to talk to the manager? Yeah, just a moment. I don't deal with. And he's like steps behind. There's a curtain, like a hanging green curtain, the doorway behind the desk, and he steps through, and you hear, and he steps out wearing a pair of Groucho Marx glasses, like the cheap plastic glasses with the nose and the mustache. And he goes, hello, I am manager. You do not get your money back, you weird doll people.
I leave door and I get packet, but I leave door on counter of this motel and I go to dinner because I don't care. I don't want to deal anymore with this and I don't want to deal with doors. So I just leave this door in corner of the motel and just pack up backpack and dress up and go to diner.
Okay. Everybody packs
Ju-
up. What's everybody
Juliet,
else doing? Your
what are you
phones-
doing? I wanted to see this.
Oh, it is the minute she sees the doll, it is full scream,
Mhm. Yep.
like loud enough to wake at least both her neighbors beside her, if not all of the
Uh-huh.
ones on her level.
Yep.
As
Thump, thump, thump. Bite the pillow when you do that.
as gingerly as she can, she picks it up, like places it somewhere safe because she's going to show Mike and Sophie. Just packs up and ends up hanging out by the car
Yep.
until everybody is there. Because it is just a nope, nope. She does not have an explanation for this. This is not like the worst possible explanation is that someone snuck into her room, so she does not want to spend any more time in there.
I would,
She's spiraling.
Yeah.
I would say to Juliet, I also had this doll, and I also think like someone transparent to your rooms. But this guy, and I show up at this from counter, don't want to give us a refund for giving away case to everybody. And he said
I
it's your dolls, but I didn't get this doll.
this doll seems to be following me from the Zane house, which is impossible because that would mean that somebody was also in there to see us and follow us from there, which is just insane. It doesn't make any sense.
And she's just gonna
And you
start
say-
spiraling to
Yeah.
Dr.
And-
Jackson.
And
Yeah.
I would say, you see now why I wanted to burn this house? We didn't deal with these dolls.
Still work for the insurance company. We can't just burn down buildings when we feel like it. That doesn't.
So what is
Kind
your
of breaks what I'm doing.
solution for these dolls? It's second day I wake up with dolls. So what is your solution?
I don't know.
Captain Mike in his room, smashing the doll from the neck down. Like it's all porcelain, right? And then and the
It's-
little dress and stuff, or
Well,
well,
for
Mike's
most
about
of
to
them,
find
it was-
out. His
he is
plan
about to
is
find
to
out it's-
behead the doll. I want that my doll head off of the doll and stuck in my backpack like a trophy.
Okay, yep. You do
Oh,
that,
wait.
and you find the body's mostly like stuffing and cloth. The hands and feet are porcelain as well.
Those can stay here.
I will say to Mike, please throw away this thing and I burn out. I don't want this to reactive in car when we're driving. And I feel like they could. I remember how they acted in house.
This thing showed up at 3 o'clock in the morning at my house, and I kicked it into splinters, and now it's back, eh? So,
Yeah,
I figure if we
left
keep an
mine-
eye on it, then at least we know where the hell it is, eh?
I know.
I have
I
left
don't
mine
want.
on my counter in my apartment.
I left my door in front of my door and I didn't do it and I wake up with this door. I don't want them in my car because I don't want fight with this door in my car while driving. Please toss it out. It's my car and my rules.
Mike
Well,
takes the head.
Mike-
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I don't think you saw that Mike had the doll
Oh
head.
no, it was sticking out of his backpack.
Oh,
it was
okay.
supposed to look like a trophy.
No, okay.
But he takes it off of his backpack and puts it on the ground and is looking down at his own face. Like, well, what the hell, eh? I was never much to look at, and then I stomp it and shatter the head.
Okay.
Juliet?
Is there like a chair just kind of on the walkway?
There's usually
Yeah,
one by the
there's
ice
some-
machine, right?
Yeah, there's one by the ice machine and one by there's a vending machine. Coke, Sprite, Dr.
Yes.
Pepper.
So she very gently like puts it in the chair
Uh-huh.
and it's just like she doesn't say anything, but it's definitely that moment of like someone being like, you stay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, but you're gonna stay. Okay? And like she never turns her back on it. She actually walks backwards to the car
Yeah.
so that she can see it the entire time.
Yeah.
Also, I will photograph all those doors because someone could ask us what we have, and we explained that we had doors like us.
You got the Polaroid, so you can-
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
You take it, you shake it, give it the old wobble that doesn't actually help it
Nope.
develop any faster,
Nope.
but it's habit.
Yeah.
And
It did help. Shush.
you've got your picture of the dolls, and for a moment, just you, Dr. Sophie, could swear that one of the dolls in the picture winks at you. But it could just be, rage. It could be the drive. It could be stress. Who knows?
Which door?
You can't recall which. Oddly enough, even though they're distinct and faces of people you know pretty well at this point, you feel like you were winked at.
I just shrug and go drive to this diner who this guy told because I'm hungry and angry.
Okay,
After
so you
Sophie's. Yeah.
take off to the diner, off to Sophie's. Is Juliet watching her doll as they drive away to make sure it stays? Then, just as you are about to pull out of view, you see one of the children who is staying in the room next to you excitedly run over to the doll, pick it up, and hug it very tightly.
Okay, then she's happy. She's like, it has a good home.
What about my door at counter?
You can't see in the building, so he didn't like come out and chuck it or anything, so you're not sure exactly what happened. But he didn't like rush out and be like, "Hey, your doll! You forgot your doll! You creepy doll people!"
I was gonna say we are the creepy doll people in this town forever and ever. Amen.
Congratulations, you are now cryptids. It doesn't take long. It's maybe 15-20 minutes down the road to get to Sophie's, and like the guy said, you can tell right away. It's another sort of 50s 60s themed.
I will
It's got
look
the
around if there's any crowd or bookstore. So don't run car with X will come before stepping
no Casey
inside.
guy with the axe.
there's no bookstores or anything. This is not even so much a town as it is one stoplight with some buildings clustered around it. Sophie's seems like it's kind of the heartbeat of the place, or at least the place that probably brings in the most money by people stopping by. There's a little gas station with a single
One pump.
station,
Oh,
one
man.
pump, just one pump
I
gas station
That's
there.
tiny.
I want to ask something about Tabble. If someone will react, this diner have my name, my character name. I
Yeah, it
did
has your name, Sophie, and when you step in, there's a teenager behind the podium. She's probably 16, 17. Uh, very thin, looks, maybe not malnourished, but definitely could use a couple sandwiches. Wearing that sort of not quite Pepto-Bismol pink and white, um, diner uniform with the little apron that doesn't really do anything, the decorative one behind the podium. And the diner seems actually fairly busy. It's not like packed to the gills, but there are a number of cars in the parking lot when you park, and inside there are seats at the counter. It's got one of those long counters with the round um, red sort of pleather covered stools, the spinny ones that aren't actually all that comfortable. They look way more comfortable than they actually are, and a number of the booths with the sort of almost sloped seats,
Yep.
also with that red pleather. The countertops and tabletops are all very clean. Looks like you see Busser wandering around, a kind of burly guy. Seems a little slow maybe, but definitely good at his job, and everybody's pretty kind to him. Just like, oh, hey there, how you doing,
Hi,
Jake?
nice
Um,
name of the diner, and I would order some food like eggs and bacon, and then I would take a seat far away from window, just in case, and eat.
yep, like the waitress will or the hostess will get you seated and um, you know, like quirk a brow a little bit to get the I don't want to be by a window, but fair enough. Not everybody wants to just see other
And
cars
also,
zipping by.
and also tea I will order because I don't like coffee.
Yep, nope. They have tea. They have sweet tea, and then they have like mint, Earl Grey, and black teas actually available for breakfast.
Actually, I will order and eat eggs
Okay,
with bacon.
Pancakes
all
and
right.
black coffee for Mike.
Eggs and toast
Eggs
for
and toast.
Juliet.
All right. The food comes out pretty quickly. You're not crowded. Nobody's staring at you creepily or
Uh,
anything. The waitress stops by a couple times, and the waitress herself she looks like an older version of the hostess, maybe with a little more meat on her bones, but definitely she's got that air of I've been doing this for 20 years and I'm probably going to do it for 20 more. I've seen it all already. Nothing shocks me. She does not like super friendly or super chatty, which I kind of feel like is probably the best for everybody's moods at this point. But keeps your coffees and teas topped up. Your food gets to you. It's
Oh,
fresh and it's greasy spoon good.
oh, yeah.
and when I was going to pay, I will show her map and say, "Do you know this area?"
She looks at it and she's like, uh, "Does it have a name?"
I don't know. I just asking if you know this area at all.
Mike blurts out, Hobbs Field, eh?
And both the waitress and the hostess are both like, "I love those books. It's a real place." The younger one does. She's excited. She's like, "Are you going there? You got to stop back by and tell me what it's like. I didn't think it was a real place. I thought it was just in the books."
Mike
If I
defensively looks at Juliet like these are your people.
and I would say, if we survive, I tell what happened.
You survive? What?
Otherwise,
We're
they just say we wake up with different circumstances, with different situation, where it's situation. So I don't know what to expect. And this is why I'm asking if you notice area.
Um, I can't really like. I don't think any roads that I know of lead to there. It's like I've gone down to the beach and hit some of the coastal towns a couple times, and looking at this, I'm sorry, I don't know how you're actually going to get there unless there's like some little side road that I've never seen or heard about.
So it looks like we're walking, eh? That's to Sophie and Juliet.
I mean, eventually we'll have to, but if we get close enough, we should be able to drive, right?
Maybe. I mean, if you've got a beefy car, possibly.
Sh- Juliet doesn't want to give too much away because it is work.
Yeah.
And is it known that Zane is missing?
If you read certain newspapers, yes, but
Yeah.
it's not like it hasn't really hit the radio yet, at least not that you could tell, since you've been
Okay.
flipping through popular channels and such. They've been trying very hard to keep it hush hush, and even the newspaper that Dr. Sophie, took that picture of, it seems to be more like, you know, positing on the possibility of him being missing, and there's no concrete. He's definitely missing. Everybody riot.
Yeah. Okay. Uh. Yeah. Then Juliet to the other two.
We're part of a group looking into interviewing Mr. Zane. We found that this might be his location.
Oh. Um, she looks around for a bit and leans in to Juliet and is like, "If you do find him, can you get me an autograph?"
Absolutely.
Outstanding. If you could make it out to his biggest fan, Susie Jenkins.
Like she takes notes down for her even to make it look like we're legit.
And
Nice.
Sophie would be like, oh, so adorable fans. But she'd say nothing. Just look at Juliet and these diner workers.
Oh, and then you pay up as you're doing anything else before it's time to go. We'll assume you've,
No,
used the bathrooms if you need to do all of that.
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, then everybody loads up into the car, refueled on greasy food and caffeine. And as you're driving away, anybody who might look back will notice that the big neon sign that was flaring pink and said, Sophie and that stylized cursive strip, for a couple of flashes says, "He sees you," in that same pink neon. And then it's Sophie's again.
And Sophie will be starting to trying deduction why he is so focused at me. Like first this gas station and a diner with my name, and I want to roll for deduction.
Shall we?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us a roll.
A 6 against 7, so it's a success.
That is a success. The best that you can figure out, especially only like recently having been trying to dive into his works, is that you are the one who is sort of embracing what is happening, or at least not fighting it and going, "Oh, it's not real. I'm just having a breakdown," or I worked at Miskatonic U, eh? I've seen worse. This is nothing, eh? I got an axe, eh?
Yeah.
So if you can point to anything, it is the fact that you are not fighting this potential reality. You are just kind of going, okay, yep, there's a doll, great. Okay, I should have burned the house down. It's all real, It's
Yeah.
you can't be certain. You need to read his books more, but you're driving unless you're gonna let somebody else take the wheel for a while.
Since Juliet has read all the books, she should probably drive today.
Yeah. You're looking for
While
landmarks
Dr.
and things.
Jackson reads.
The map and,
And
stuff.
anytime that Sophie has questions, she can just ask Juliet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, right.
All right,
So
then
you guys
Juliet,
can
you're
stay
the
in
one
the
behind
front.
the wheel.
Yeah, Mike's going to stay in the back seat then.
All right. So you drive and you read, and is there any discourse you want to have amongst you, or is it still pretty sort of pensive silence, broken mostly by Dr. Sophie turning pages?
I was eating and I was thinking what to do, and tomorrow I wake up again with dolls and I'm still eating.
Okay. The drive goes on. It continues to be banal, although now it's more um, sort of coastal farmland, a little less green and lush, a little more scraggly, more brown trees with not a lot of leaves. The fence posts are a little more saggy. The barbed wire, a little more tetanusy. Um, You see more abandoned, half overgrown barns and little houses and areas where it seems somebody used to live, but hasn't actually known civilization for a good long while. And as it starts to get darker, Mike and Dr. Sophie, you're getting real sleepy. Like, real sleepy. And Juliet, you're not seeing any signs for a motel or a hotel or even like a really good place that you could turn off and just kind of turn off the car and try and get some shut eye.
There is any house we can ask to sleep over, like civil house, not motel.
That's not really an American thing. I'll put that out there.
No.
Most Americans, you show up at their door asking if you can just spend the night. Even back in the 80s, they're most either gonna wave a gun at you or call the cops or both. Well, one in like 10,000 will actually be a serial killer, but that's really rolling the dice.
Well, how far away
So-
are we, eh? Because these two have got the map up front, so.
Yep.
So, who sleep in the car?
You and Mike, I feel like you're rapidly losing the battle against sleep, even if you're, chugging water and chewing on jerky, trying to stay awake. Juliet, you still feel pretty awake, surprisingly, for this point.
Mhm.
And if you consult the map, which is getting harder and harder with Dr. Sophie being less and less responsive, you notice either you've still got miles to go or you already should have been there. It's hard to tell on the map at this point.
And there's nowhere for me to pull off, right?
There's nowhere. It's ditches and barbed wire. You haven't actually seen like a shoulder turn off or even like one of those little farm paths that's barred by a gate for a while. And it's getting to full dark now. You've been driving for quite some time. And none of the turnoffs you were kind of expecting from the map have materialized.
Yeah, she's gonna turn on her hazards, just pull over onto the shoulder, and really look at this map.
Okay.
In an effort to stave off going to sleep, Mike just opens the back door and stands up outside, just trying to get some fresh air.
Okay. Mike does that, and
Sophie,
Mike. Oh,
Same.
Sophie. Same. Okay. So those of you outside of the car, while you're stretching and kind of
Yeah.
giving yourself the little slaps and trying to wake up, you hear the distinctive sound of somebody riding a bike towards you. Somebody riding a bike with the playing cards clothespinned
Mm-hmm.
to the bars, so you hear that clack, 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 clack. And you see coming towards you a young man, early teens maybe, kind of a almost pompadour haircut, that weird sort of Corey Haim
Yep.
style haircut.
Mm-hmm.
That was popular. Once again, jean jacket, blue jeans. He's got a little not very effective lamp on the front of the bike, and it's one of those old Schwinn, like wide handled style.
Yep.
With the fat body, and he's just clacking, 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 clacking.
I just watch. I'm not. Mike
I-
doesn't
I-
engage. It's just
I,
that
Uh,
dream state. Yeah.
I tried to stop him, to ask for help.
He looks terrified when he meets your eyes. Like you try and stop him, you call out to him, and he just kind of does the stand up and pedal faster thing. The
I will
bike
look.
turbo speed.
I will look inside my baggy's pocket mirror, like to make up, and look at me because I feel like something is on me.
No, you look just like you. There's no You know, there's no sudden tentacles, no scales, no slime, no extra eyes or mouths. You are the same Dr. Sophie that you have always seen in the mirror.
I just shrug and I back to car and lay down on our back seat. Like Mike is outside, so I
Yep.
want to use this occasion and nap
Yep.
when Juliet is looking at map and Mike outside.
Oh, okay. Juliet, let's see here. What do we got? Yeah, let's go
I
ahead
didn't
since it'll
know.
be. I'm sorry.
I haven't rolled yet. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, give me a research roll for this one. So 7 or
6.
less. Perfect. All right, so it takes a little bit, and you've got to kind of shift things together. And for a moment, you swear the lines are changing whenever you blink to confound you. But after some just staring, just I'm not blinking. I will blink, not blink for days if I have to. You figure out that you really need to go probably another, hopefully at least another hour, 2 hours down the road before you're going to hit what should be the last possible turnoff before you're effectively just going to have to drive straight to the ocean. Like it's not going to take you directly to the beach, but your options really at that point are limited to go this way, off away from where you need to go into the ocean, or find this little turnoff you were trekking for.
Yeah, she'll. Uh, Dr. Jackson, Mr. Canmore, I think I found it. We got about an hour, maybe 2 to go.
I hope you're right. And she, yeah, I'm like, and and she sit down to take place for Mike.
Yep.
But she's still closing her eyes while Juliet driving.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying
Mike will get in the front then because
Okay.
Sophie's in the back, and
Yep.
he's
Yeah,
gonna try
but
and stay
I-
awake.
But I took place for you. I sit down. I was
I-
laying down by
Oh, you made a
Juliet.
place in the back for me. If the front
Yes.
seat's empty, Mike would still get into that because he's still gonna try and stay awake to help Juliet get where we're going.
So I
Yeah.
closed
so you get to
eyes
yep.
and sit
Sophie
down.
can nap
Yeah.
in the back.
Yeah.
It's her turn. Mike doesn't get the nap
Nope.
seat the whole time.
Nope.
All right, so you start back up, turn the hazards off, got your lights on, take back off down the road. And after about half an hour of mostly darkness and the view of bits of fencing off to the sides and what, Mike, you, despite your best struggles, you just
Yep.
you lose the battle.
Yeah.
Something is tugging you under, and you zonk.
Yep.
Yep. And a little bit after that happens, maybe another 10 minutes or so, Juliet, you see reflective, like the little reflective badges that you sometimes see on bikes and such, coming back, like not directly towards you. You're not playing chicken with you, but in the other lane, heading down this way. And you see a bike, a familiar bike, the same bike with the little cards, same clothing, but the person pedaling the bike looks like they've aged 70 years in the couple of, like, in the half an hour, 45 minutes since they blew past you. And even through the glass, you hear a child's voice, like a young man's voice, saying, "I can't get out. He won't let me out." And he vanishes into the dark behind you, and even the taillights can't illuminate him anymore.
And the other 2 are asleep.
Yep.
Yes. Juliet is going to look and see if she can find hair metal.
All right, so she's playing with the radio, fiddling, trying to find some better music that doesn't wake the other two. Even though you might suspect it would. And while she's fiddling and trying to kind of stay awake and distract herself, there's a sudden thump as the car strikes something.
Yep. S- That is an immediate stop the car. And they're both out to the world, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And do I have a flashlight?
I imagine there would be
I
one in the glove
have-
compartment. Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
you might
have-
have one, but you're asleep and she's not gonna. I don't think Juliet's gonna go digging through your stuff.
But no,
No.
pretty much every car would have had one in
Yeah,
The
most
glove
cars have
box.
just a little one. So, and yeah, despite the thunk and the slamming on the brakes, they don't wake up.
Yep, she's gonna get out, like take the flashlight and go look because that's what you do.
Yep.
That is what you do.
Eh,
And you see that old young man laying next to his bike, limbs in a tangle, unmoving, near the front of the car.
Shit. She's immediately banging on the windows trying to wake them. Uh she goes to the gentleman. Uh
Fuck. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't see you. Oh, fuck.
He shoots to his feet, unfolding like a puppet, like a marionette yanked by the cords. I can't get out. He won't let us out. Don't go.
Who won't let you out?
Him. You know who. He sees you. He sees all of you. He saw me too. And he grabs the bike and he gets on the bike and he starts to pedal away into the darkness again.
It's in the car. And this time I am looking for music that would probably wake them up.
Okay. You throw some music on and start driving again? Or are you just sitting there trying to wake them up with music?
No, I'm gonna keep driving
Okay.
because I don't know what just happened and I don't have anyone to talk to about it because that was just fucking weird.
You drive for a little more and they're still completely oblivious to the world. I swear to God, you guys will wake up in a little bit. Just
No,
bear
it's
with
all
me.
good.
I'm not
I'm
trying
good.
to take you out of
Yeah.
this.
I'm only curious if we have dreams.
You have dreams, but they're strange and disjointed. They're not even necessarily nightmares. They're just flashes and pieces of your history. Things you remember from your childhood, things you remember from your adolescence, from your teenage years. None of them make sense, really. Just flashes of a word somebody said to you once, flashes of a pretty bird you saw that one time that you just remembered, but you feel weighed down by them. Like they're anchors tied around your ankles, holding you underwater, but you're not drowning. You just can't surface.
I try as psychologists to let go of past. Like I try to live back into me.
Okay, we'll get to the results for that in a moment. Um, Juliet, you are also getting very sleepy at this point, kind of blinky eyed and starting to kind of do that nod thing.
Am I
And
getting anywhere near the turn off?
between one nod and the next, it feels like the road changes beneath you. You can't really see, like the lights are shining ahead of you, but you don't really see the road anymore. You hear thunder beneath you and growling of some sort, like possibly from a big machine, possibly from a bear, possibly from something else entirely. And if you look out the windows, you're driving on a, it seems like a hellishly lit thunder cloud. It stretches everywhere around you.
Yeah. Shit. And I'm tired.
And you're tired.
Yeah, she's thinking this is a hallucination due to exhaustion. At least that's what she's trying to tell herself it is.
Yep. You want to give me a debunking roll, maybe?
Sure. Let's see how much more psyche.
1. Okay. You're like, nope. I'm just super tired. This has been a lot of strange things. And the moment you like really feel like you solidify that mindset in yourself, you feel like you've hit pavement again. Not like struck pavement, but like pavement is under your tires. Just in time for you to end up driving down a narrow covered bridge. A 1-lane narrow covered bridge. There's sunlight coming through the slats. And you're thundering down at that wood, your tires on wood. It seems incredibly long for a covered bridge. They're usually, a couple car lengths, something like that. Otherwise, they're open and whatnot. You see daylight rushing up ahead of you, just in time to see a dog dart in front of the car.
Slamming on
Slam on the
brakes.
brakes.
I am not hurting the car. I'm not hurting a dog.
Yeah.
Yep. And you slam on the brakes, you do a little turn, and the car comes to a stop. Mike and Sophie, you both wake up with a snap. And you see some green hills, some trees, some forest. You can hear, just at the edge of your hearing, you can hear the ocean on the beach. And there's a sign. One of those kind of old-timey, big carved wooden signs that says, "Welcome to Hobbs Field."
Yeah.
And Sophie would like to step out and take breath air.
It's that refreshing, clean, slightly salty, little bit fishy, ocean air.
And I will
Okay.
look at my car because scratch from bike and ask what time you said.
So there was a kid who wasn't a kid riding a bike, and somehow I hit him, but then I didn't. I think I may have fallen asleep accidentally, or had some sort of hallucination out of exhaustion.
But I wonder why I have my car scratched.
Is the car scratched?
No. Well, actually, yes. There's a scratch on the fender that wasn't there before. Like, it did not do a lot of damage. It was a bike and body versus we're talking one of those old, mostly metal Cadillacs
Yeah.
style
Mhm.
tanks. So there
Beast,
is a
yeah.
little scratch on the bumper, but there's no blood. It didn't break any headlights. It didn't punch in the grill. So it was just a little scratch from the bike.
Little ding in the
Probably.
chrome. Yeah.
Yeah, a little thing in the chrome. Nothing that can't be taken care of.
Mike's just sort of, yeah, as soon as you said asleep, it's like, huh, and you accidentally, in my head, it's like, and you accidentally crashed into exactly where we're going. But whatever, we're here. He doesn't say any of that. He just reaches into the back seat now that Sophie's out, grabs his pack, puts it over one shoulder, and just sort of looks around. Okay, so we're here, eh?
And Sophie, we
Yeah.
took picture of this big sign
Yeah, yeah.
and started recording. To anybody who find this cassette, I'm Dr. Sophie Jackson, and with 12 people, I arrived to Hope Valley. This place is real, not in just a book. And I stopped recording.
Okay. The place that you brought the car to a stop is not exactly a roundabout, more like a round clearing with a couple of places you could go. Off to your left, looks like it would lead down to the beach. Looks like there's an old abandoned fishery over there, and maybe some piers of dubious sustainability, reliability. Um, Straight ahead, looks like it heads up to a place, a very large building with a greenhouse often to the that you can see it's off to the distance, but you can still make out the greenhouse and Juliet. It tickles something in the back of your mind. It kind of reminds you of the descriptions of the hotel from the third book in the series, The Deep Light, or sorry, the fourth, no, third book in the series, Behind the Mirrors. Sorry, it's been a long day. And then off to the right leads into what looks like a small, picturesque little seaside town.
She tells uh Sophie and Mike about the hotel.
And I went
So
the side code here.
And then
we
Juliet?
can
Yeah.
go up there and I guess get a room. And if it's anything like the books, we can then go down into the town and I guess see if
Uh,
Zane is here.
Alright. And I will also take picture in front of this hotel.
Okay.
And
Get your
say
pictures and
I said that we went to this hotel in cassette recording.
Yeah, you record that too. Perfect.
Yep.
It seems like that might be a good place. I know we're a little early, but does that seem like a decent place to stop? He asked because I'm almost as tired as Mike was. But
Yeah.
halfway through tonight, I just hit a wall, so
we
I'm a little
can
pooped.
draw the curtain as you're all heading up
Thank you.
to the hotel. All right, folks, we're calling it a little early because many of us are exhausted, and it really is a good place to pause until next week, and it guarantees, that there will be a next week session.
Yes. Yeah, we're finally there. We're finally at this little town, so now we can start to resolve shit, or at least record our final will and testament for other people that come
Exactly.
after us. Yeah.
So we will be back again next week. Same printer time, same printer channel. And we're going to go ahead and I thank my players as always for putting up with my horror and silliness both. And otherwise, we'll close this out as we always do with a be nice to each other, be kind to each other, whatever you have the energy to do. If nothing else, don't make the world a worse place. Take care of yourself, take care of who you can, and have a good night.
Bye.
Night, y'all.